A ballerina's perspective, from performing with New York City Ballet and Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater to publishing poetry books and mentoring kids and teens. Join us in a weekly discussion with experts to gain mental health clarity and achieve growth and moral consciousness. Give our show a 5 stars, comment, share, and come along for the ride. Welcome back to another episode of the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. Jodi Scott co-founded Green Goo in a tiny kitchen with her mom and sister, inspired by traditional herbal recipes and a drive to put the planet first. With their very first batch, it was made in mason jars with slow infused herbs, and that same formula is still their best seller today. That adventure took them from their family farm, complete with chickens, dogs, and daily warehouse chaos, to 120,000 stores nationwide. They sold their company, bought it back, and kept the mission alive because spreading goodness was never just a business play for them. So, wow, what a beautiful story. Such an inspiring journey when it comes to skincare. I think growing up, dancing professional ballet, there's so much about skincare that we have to take into account as part of our repair, rejuvenation, pre-show, post-show. There's so much there when it comes to sensitivity as well. So what inspired you to create this plant-based first products?
Yeah, so it was so interesting. Here we were living like a really clean life. Like we had clean food, we were reading the back of labels for our personal care products. But it was so interesting when we opened up our first aid cabinet, we made all the exceptions. One time use, no sustainability, tons of chemicals. And I was pregnant at the time and I was like, why? I don't want to put this on my body. And I definitely don't want to put it on my daughter that's coming into this world. Why are we accepting that this is the only solution? And then it was really interesting. We started digging in and we found that the natural consumer was willing to abandon their natural ethos because they were told these one-time use chemical laden products were the only ones that could get the job done. And then it was even more interesting to me that chronic skin conditions are at an all-time high. And the conventional consumer could care less about the ingredients. They just want something that works better. And they're also dissatisfied with the OTC space because you've used 7 to 10 days, symptoms persist, go see your doctor, and often they do, and that's really frustrating. And of course, this was 15 years ago, and no one knew what plant-based was, and we were like, I wonder if we can make a plant-based first aid that is superior in efficacy, and oh, by the way, it's also natural and sustainable. And so Green Goo was born. My sister's an herbalist and a midwife, and I was pre-med, got my master's in health psychology and specialized in psychoneuroimmunology. And so we were just right at that forefront of let's start formulating and let's disrupt the first aid space.
That's amazing. It's such an inspiring story. I think when it comes to creating a business with people, it's obviously challenging, but especially with your family, that could be a really great kind of testament to how you connect, how you communicate and work together. I think so many people either love it or hate it. What is your favorite part? And do you have any kind of challenges working with your loved ones?
I love working with my family. My husband works for the company, my brother-in-law, my sister, my mom. My dad just is in the quiet background labeling. Um, but we grew up in the military together. And I think we just learned at a young age with all the moving around. We were moving around every 3 months to 3 years. And knowing that like your sister and your brother and your parents were your best friends and they were your anchor and they were with you through really difficult times and you had to like bring each other up when maybe one was down, and it was just that like incredible glue and camaraderie. Now I'll tell you, I when we first started the business, I was like, okay, like this is going to put us to test. Yes, we love each other, but is love enough? And so I started reaching out to family offices, other people who had had family businesses, therapists. And I said, I really don't want to damage this beautiful relationship. What can we do to be proactive? Like, what are some flags we need to wave so that we can stay ahead and be really responsive instead of reactive? And so that was some of the best advice I got in starting the business. And one of them was like, sit down with each other and establish each other's zone of genius. Like, where does everyone specifically thrive? And then put them in that seat and respect them in that role. So you don't get to put your family hat on and be like, ooh, I'm going to come over and tell you how to do your job, or question whether you're doing it, or hit some of those family buttons that happen. And so we had very specific like rules of engagement to help. And of course we had difficult times, but because we really invested ahead of getting into the trenches with each other, it definitely served us better when those tough times came. And they certainly did.
That's so inspiring and amazing. I think it's also, yeah, like a great testament to, if you're ready to shake off that daily stress, come join us for online beginner, adult, ballet, and yoga classes each week to connect with the flow of movement and the art of ballet into perfect synergy. Come as you are and learn to love your body a little bit more and gain strength and flexibility with each class. All are welcome. Sign up at balletartsmovement@gmail.com. First class free. TeloVital supports focus, energy, immunity, sleep, recovery, and resilience. Start feeling better today on a cellular level with Zeolite Super Green Juice, micronutrient gut support, and more. Get over 50% off your first order for TeloVital. Link in the description of the podcast. Figuring out your own strengths and skills and kind of collaborate in a teamwork, that can be so beneficial, because obviously, like you mentioned, yes, these people love you, they grew up with you, they know your best self, they know your worst self, and it's like if you can collaborate with that energy and space, I think so much magic and healing can also be brought upon the company. So kudos, that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. And thank goodness, because going to 150,000 points of distribution in less than 5 years was living in a state of fight or flight a lot. And we weren't with each other every day. I was on the road 3 weeks out of the month. And so even having like a long distance relationship with someone is very difficult when you're building a business. And then, oh my goodness, selling the company and buying it back. We all lost our jobs in less than 24 hours, all of us. So we lost our jobs, our team, our sense of purpose, all in one moment. And I was so grateful that we had each other to help us journey that. I don't know what I would have done without them.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Let's shift now to a little bit of the products that you have. We are coming on Valentine's Day, so I thought you could talk a little bit about any products or any specials you have to give people an opportunity to connect with your products.
That would be wonderful. And Love 20 is a coupon code right now and is good through Valentine's Day for 20% off site wide. So just use that code. And, oh my goodness, so many good things in this portfolio. So the first aid formula is like your Swiss Army knife for first aid. It is your first aid kit on the go. Every household should have this. It replaces your topical antiseptics, but it also takes the sting and the itch out, slows down the bleeding, speeds up the healing. It is safe for your kiddos. It is safe for your pets. It's very difficult to find an over-the-counter solution that is safe for both of them. And it's so fun to be able to give your child a tin of goo, and when they scratch their knee, and they can put it on themselves, and they find such pride in that. And it's not a Band-Aid, because a Band-Aid really doesn't do anything for the kiddos. It just gives them the moment to journey through that pain that they're feeling. And actually, Green Goo takes the sting and the pain away. So the kiddos really appreciate it. And then once you have portable first aid with you, you're like, what did I do with this before? How did I survive before? So it's really great. And then I really love the pain relief. And I would suggest the pain relief, not just for like a workout, like post workout, or if you've had an injury. There's a lot of science to support managing inflammation is incredibly good for cognition and your health. And so like for example, today, what I did when I got out of the shower, I put the pain relief on from head to toe, put on my bathrobe, checked some emails for a little while, just let my skin drink it up. And then I got dressed like 30 minutes later, and I already feel different just by adding that anti-inflammatory component into my regimen. And I like to look at our skin as like the same way you take supplements, you want to give your skin nutrition. So those two are some of my favorite. And then Their skin repair is an anti-aging formula, which I like to say just age well, but it is your lotion alternative. It's your after sun and burn scar, but really you can replace your lotion and you can put this on head to toe as well as a great moisturizer. And we do have some intimate products that are super fun for Valentine's Day. So take a look at the Southern Butter line. And yeah, and if you're suffering from eczema, just ping me and I can give you like a whole regiment. John Hopkins has been using our products in their scleroderma and skin condition department for over a decade. We've helped a lot of people who have not been able to get relief from over the counter and prescription steroids.
That's amazing. I think especially now in the northern hemisphere, there's winter. It's such a dry feeling, and a lot of people do have sensitivity to the cold and allergies and eczema. So it is tough, finding something that's non-toxic and also kind of like rebuilds, restores, especially for kids. So yeah, these sound like really, really great products.
And what's interesting too is just how much we've just accepted that things like phthalates and paraben and petroleum are just okay to put on our skin. And our skin, yes, is the largest organ, but it is the first line of defense. It is rich in neurotransmitters. It is the same tissue, it's born from the same tissue, embryonic tissue, as your nervous system. And so when you think about it, it's on a state of protection and fight or flight all the time. And then that's connected to your nervous system. So when you can eliminate some of those toxic ingredients, but then also invite some of those nutritional ingredients, you will feel a difference in your overall wellness journey.
Yes, it's such a great tool to help support the mind body. Unlock your best life with Soul app. Book a holistic wellness experience with a trained guide and start changing your life today with compassion practices, inner healing, food and diet, and so much more. Tap into a healthier and happier life with the #1 purposeful living app in the US, the Soul app, link in the description of the podcast. Sanger Daniel's online seminar promoting a positive message of self-healing with bioenergy work together with live seminars and remote coaching. Use code BIO20 for a 20% discount for our audience. Link in the description of the podcast. A lot of people who do have anxiety or mental health issues and they're piling on all of this toxic chemicals, and then it just increases their anxiety. So like you mentioned about the nervous system connection, that's so crucial. Like I know some of my friends don't wear makeup at all because they don't want to aggravate their nervous system. They'd rather just like stay away. So this is a great alternative and a holistic one at that.
And adds nutritional components. So it's really fun. We like to look at the transdermal absorption, and that helps us think about what carrier oils we're going to use. And and I'll even back up, something that's very different about Green Goo is we still make it the same way we did with those mason jars in our kitchen. So we used to grow the herbs in our backyard with the bees, and we would dry the herbs on old screen door racks. I'm sure people driving by our house were like, what are those people doing? And we would do this very special slow infusion that protects the integrity of the plant so that you get this rich botanical profile. And those custom unique oils go into all of the Green Goo formulas. So to this day, we still bring the plants to the manufacturing facility and take it through that process. So you can't get these medicinal botanical profiles anywhere. And it's like freshly squeezed orange juice versus like a vitamin C packet. It really brings that botanical medicinal profile into your skin. And then when you think about the transdermal absorption, another fun one is like your armpit. Your armpit is this like a really interesting looking tissue. Well, it absorbs like 70% of what you put in it. So it's not only, and it's next to your lymphatic tissue. So it's not only important to avoid ingredients that are harmful, but we put in things like ashwagandha, holy basil, echinacea, functional mushrooms, ginkgo biloba, vitamin C, and all these fun ingredients so that one, you can avoid the bad stuff and then really bring in some nutrients in your armpit.
That's amazing. It sounds almost good enough to eat.
Hey, we say if you can't eat it, you shouldn't wear it.
Exactly. But I also saw the triple rose facial oil you had on your Instagram, which is amazing. And also like the vitamin C part of it is important, right? To build the collagen.
This is like magic in a bottle. It is so beautiful, and these ingredients are sourced from all over the world and incredibly compact and rich in the vitamin C, to your point, and the antioxidants. what it does in terms of penetrating the layers of your epidermis and then bringing in elasticity, stimulating that collagen growth, it is phenomenal. So people are always asking me, like, what do you do to your skin? And I'm like, I just use the oil face wash, and then I use the vitamin C serum, and then I seal it in with the skin repair afterwards. So, like, really seal in those nutrients and bring in that hydration. And that is it. And people are like, that's it. And I love having low maintenance skincare. And people think I've done a lot of other things to my skin, and I haven't.
That's beautiful. You do look so fresh and beautiful. And I think there's something about the minimalistic simplicity that's at the core purity. And I think it adds this other layer of confidence because obviously you want to feel good, you want to feel from the inside out, but then to also look good and then to feel the confidence. So many people do struggle with self-esteem issues, and that's why they put on toxic chemical makeup to feel better, to feel more confident. But then it's kind of like, you are putting on so much chemicals and it could be reactions to that. So this is such a beautiful way to not only give yourself nutrition, but also to bring out that aspect of confidence holistically.
And what you'll see with a lot of the traditional skincare products with the chemicals that are in there, they give you short-term results because they have the chemistry down where it will bring in that hydration, maybe plump your skin up for a moment, and then the next day your cells react to that because they want to push that out and get balanced again. And you do that. I always give the example of, like, think about every time you put air in a balloon and then you take the air out and then you put it back in and you take it back out. Eventually that cell just looks really sad. And so what I love about nutritional skincare is that you are not only providing nutrients for your body, but you are stimulating what the body knows how to do, which is repair and rejuvenate and complement, versus bringing in these other chemicals that make your body have to work harder. And so what you'll find is that relationship with your confidence is the fact that you're actually getting something that works. And we say at Green Goo, we're probably the most anti-capitalistic business there is because the more you use it, the less you need it.
That's an amazing product and a great honesty to provide such value to your customers. So that's so beautiful.
It's special. Matter of fact, the other day, we were just talking a few minutes ago about the eczema. We had a family whose daughter has been suffering for the last year, and both mom and daughter, like, we have not slept in a year. And if you're suffering from eczema, you know what that means. Like, clothing doesn't feel good. It's like at night, all you can feel is the itching. And she's like, we've done prescription and over the counter steroids. And she goes, I'm telling you, I don't believe in natural products and I've never used them before, but I heard through the grapevine that you may have a solution. So I want you to know I'm coming at this with low expectations, but at this point, I'm willing to do anything. So we gave her a regiment and I said, we'd really like to see pictures so we can make sure that if we need to adjust which formula based on which stage you're in. So picture number 1, and then by week 2, it's almost gone. Now she's just using the skin repair to help with the scarring. And she goes, 2 weeks. That's all it took. And we've been suffering for a year. And I just get so much joy for being able to bring solutions that can really change people's lives in this way.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know so many kids struggle with that as well, and it's so difficult to deal with just daily life to take the itch away. And obviously, you want to give the kids healthy as much as it can be healthy, and also something that actually works. So the idea being that it's so solution focused, that's fantastic. And hopefully more people can connect to that, especially people who are struggling so much during the cold winter days as well.
Yeah, dry skin is not fun.
Yes, that's so true. And where can people connect with you and see all of your content and buy your amazing products from Green Goo?
The best place to purchase would be greengoo.com and Amazon, where you can really get the full breadth of products. We do have summer butter and the fan botanicals at the Green Goo website, so you can shop all and find everything. And then for me, Jodi A. Scott at LinkedIn. I love visiting with customers, helping them curate the right solution for them, but also just helping entrepreneurs, families, leadership. I absolutely love having that FaceTime. Matter of fact, our retention marketing, when we send out our emails to our customers, they come from my email. And so every once in a while, someone will respond and they'll go, wow, I didn't really think that you would respond. And of course, that's what makes the difference is me being able to have this FaceTime with our customers. So I have so much gratitude for that.
That's amazing. Connecting personally, it also brings a level of deeper respect and value to your client, to the client you're working with. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Jodi, for coming on the podcast and sharing more about your products, your amazing company, and hopefully more people can connect to this and also be inspired to take on holistically for their skincare.
Thank you for having me. It was a treat to be with you.